question my students often ask is, what would you do if you go back to your 19 years old self? To answer that question, I have something for you here. Okay, that's actually me when I was 19, standing on the edge of something massive. The life is like a room, a giant room with 1,000 doors. You have no roadmap, you're all excited, you have no plans, and it's fun, it seems fun. What would I do if I go back in time travel, and I'm 19 again? Well, if I could go back, I would have a very standard answer. I would buy Bitcoin for sure in 2010, retire in 2021, very early. I wouldn't study more, but I would study less, smarter. I'll call my mom more, I'll laugh more, and more importantly, I believe I wouldn't try so hard to impress people who don't even know my name now. So what is the fantasy about, the time travel? Well, it's a superhero fantasy. People ask this question, what would you do if you go back in time? They always assume that time travel, right? You go back and you just restart, you dodge all of your mistakes. Everything is gonna be perfect because you have the complete information. You know everything that's gonna happen. I would like to go back and fix all of my errors. But that actually depends on one thing that is called certainty. Now, what if I flip the question though, something that no one asks? I have never seen any student asking me this question this way. They always ask me, what would you do if you go back to 19? The time travel question. What if I am 19 today in 2025? That's terrifying actually, because the fantasy is broken. It would be very uncertain for me. I would have no idea, no clue about fitting into your lives. Why? Because your world is very different than the world I lived when I was 19. If I drop into your world today, there wouldn't be any do-overs. What would be? Well, it's going to be something that we cannot avoid, the uncertainty. And actually, the question wouldn't be that much fancy anymore, right? I mean, I can imagine my students looking at me. I mean, this guy 19, what are we gonna learn from him? It's different because the experience I had doesn't work anymore in 2025. Talk about the world, your world today. What do we have? Political problems. Just imagine the world map in front of you and then choose a random point in the world map. Anywhere you have a political problem, uprisings, trade wars, actual wars, everything. You have mental health crisis. I was checking the statistics. 70% of the college students after pandemic had some sort of mental health crisis. That's what they reported. Rising college costs, AI disruption. Is robots gonna take over? Are they gonna steal our jobs? Is AI taking over? What are we gonna do? How are we gonna cope with the developments in AI? That's a lot of problem in today's job market, right? Climate anxiety and global sort of climate problems. Information overload. You wake up, you read something before breakfast. Half of them contradict with each other, right? That's the internet. You don't even check the sort of the quality of the information. Not only that, by the way, just imagine the world map again in front of you, divided into two pieces horizontally, the north and the south. What do you see? Northern side, developed people, developed world, rich people, right? Education, capital, technology, fancy places. In the south, you're gonna see some countries that don't even have access to basic needs like medical supplies, shelter, even water, a lot of things you take for granted today. So a huge inequality. If I tell you 1% of the population in your country owns more than 30% of the assets, that's the world we are living in right now. It's very uncertain, very unpredictable. Yes, that is terrifying actually. So in this point, I want to tell you a very interesting personal story about uncertainty. It was 2016 in my beautiful country, Turkey. There was a political crackdown. And in one night, 6,000 academics lost their jobs. And I was one of them. Next day, I left my country, came to United States back. I had my PhD in 2011. I'm talking about 2016. I came back, traveling to uncertainty, traveling to unknown. And when you're unemployed, anybody around you seems employed to you. When you're unhappy, you seem like the world is all happy and you're the only one unhappy. Then I told myself, I have to follow the miracle. The uncertainty should open new doors for me. I'm traveling to a place, but even before going to that place, I'm in New York airport waiting for my connection. I opened my computer and had my first job application filled in that airport while I was waiting for the flight. It was unbelievable because in August, if you know the academic job market somehow, in August it's impossible to find an academic job because we post next year's jobs, next year's positions in August. In August, everything is already settled. The budget is set, the teaching schedules are written, everything is already done deal. There is no way to find an academic job in August. But I was telling myself, I need to follow the miracle. I need to do something. So I'm sending out these job applications. Somewhere in the mountains of Montana, there is this beautiful city called Bozeman. It's like 30,000 people, one Walmart, one Olive Garden, one Costco type of thing. Okay? And there is this 150 years old historic university called Montana State University. In that university, one professor got a research fund, millions of dollars. After he got the fund, obviously, he says, well, I don't need to teach this semester because I have a lot of money now from the fund, from the research, right? From the research funding. He knows it. So what they need is someone to replace him to cover the classes. And it is in my field, international trade policy. I see the posting, I apply to the posting. Next day, they are interviewing me in 30 minutes because while I was leaving my country and while I was applying to the jobs, while I was talking to people around me, I just had one sentence. All I need is an opportunity to present myself. All I need is an opportunity to present myself. I still remember 30 to 40 minutes, they're interviewing me, they said, give us 5 minutes. And I was like, wow, that was rude. You know, they're leaving the interview to come back. They come back in 5 minutes, they say, you were by far the best candidate we have. We want to hire you. Okay, now that they want to hire me, I say, let's talk about the money. Money was fine, but there was something really problematic. I was on a tourist visa. So I told them, okay, money is good, but you need to finance, you need to sponsor my visa. How am I gonna work for you? I'm on a tourist visa. I really didn't think about it, you know? When I was unemployed, I left my country. Okay, let's talk to the international office. That's another impossibility because if you know the immigration stuff a little bit, it's gonna take a lot of time to get your H-1B visa and to be ready to work. So they call the international office, they say it's impossible, we can't do that, the semester is already starting, the chair just sort of insists, no, I want to hire him. How are we gonna do it? Just make it happen. Well, we have an expedited case, expedited visa sponsorship, but you need to spend extra, some few $1,000s, maybe more. Okay, it doesn't matter, I want to hire him. But that's not even enough, the money is not gonna solve some problems. There is one more problem. The classes are going to start. Who's going to cover the classes? Because he's going to teach international finance. Somebody needs to teach international finance for 2 weeks so that we can hire him. It doesn't matter, the chair says. I'm going to cover the classes for him. I want to hire him. Oh, this talk is recorded. Probably Greg is going to listen. He is still the chair of the economics department at Montana State University. That actually changed my career drastically. I wouldn't be here if that miracle didn't happen. So I found myself in Montana State University, and the students in Montana State University are not like you guys. Because you, just in these TED Talks, you have seen people from all around the world. You are used to different accents and everything. My students in Montana State, I was the only international in the building. They have never heard anybody with an accent. 90% of my students actually were from Montana. Some of them didn't even leave Montana in their entire life. But they get used to it after half a semester. I was having very much fun. But the snow and everything, the cold, I'm like, I'm going to apply somewhere else. Who would imagine after 7 years, I'm the associate dean of one of the most prestigious colleges in the state of Texas. And I'm a professor, tenured full professor, and I won the Professor of the Year award twice in the last 5 years. All this happened because I didn't let uncertainty to put me down. I knew that all of the traumas we have, all of the unknowns we have, is going to push us back. When you hit the rock bottom, there is only one way, and that's up. So that's my personal story. I know. And all I want from you guys is just take this story and never forget what I said. The only thing you need is the opportunity to present yourself. So, even as an economist, I can't predict the future perfectly. Markets shift. You cannot predict everything. Uncertainty is baked into everything. Models break, but we still try because we care. Not because we are just trying to make changes all the time, but we care. Yeah, I don't know. Do I know what's going to happen to the stock market next year? If I had an answer to that, I wouldn't be a professor. I would be outside trading, making millions. But I can't predict that. But there is still uncertainty baked into it. I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. So 3 lessons I'm going to tell you. Curiosity is bigger than certainty. Keep this in mind. Because curiosity means rigidity. But, I'm sorry, certainty means rigidity. Curiosity means being open. Integrity is bigger than control. You cannot control everything, but you can control how you react to it. Always show up. Always control your emotions. Make sure that you're ready to uncertainty and to unknown. Courage is bigger than comfort. If you want to grow, you have to go out of your comfort zone. Anything that's going to be meaningful in your life is going to come if you walk towards something that you don't know. So, would I want to start over? The question, would I like to be 19 today? I want to ask that question to the older people in the audience. Who would like to be 19 today? Do you? I don't. I'm okay. Because what if I can't be who I am today? What if I do mistakes? What if? No, that what if is a big what if, you know, it's a big risk. But it's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about how you carry them, especially now that you're entering into adulthood. Your 20s are going to be all about making mistakes and learning from them. Don't forget that. So uncertainty is not a flaw. It is the story. Embrace it. Arm yourself with a lot of knowledge. Have good mentors. Have a plan. But never forget, in the gaps, you're going to have a lot of uncertainty. If you find yourself down one day, even if you find one day yourself crying because of something unexpected happening in your life, believe that it's going to turn up. Because every uncertainty is going to be an opportunity to bring your potential outside. Do I have another slide? Thank you. Keep walking. Keep wondering. Don't forget what I said. All you need is an opportunity to present yourself. Thank you so much.